by Monica Furlong, Chapter 10. One day Uni said, "Tomorrow we will go to see Angharad of the West." "Who is she? Where does she live?" "A long journey. You'll see." "But suppose Gamal comes to see me while I'm gone?" "He'll just have to go home again, won't he?" It was a bright winter day when the two of us set off, with the sun winking on icy puddles and the sky blue and clear. The air seemed to sparkle. The prospect of a change had cheered me, and I felt happier than I had for some time, even though Uni insisted on walking extremely fast. By now Moon was too big to fit in even the largest pocket, and I carried him in a special bag I had made for him out of an old shift. My warm cloak was very comforting, but my boots felt too small for my swollen toes, and I could feel the cold of the ground through the soles as they slipped and slithered. My hands quickly became blue and numb, and even with an old ragged blanket of Uni's around my head and shoulders, I could feel the wind biting me. Uni, as usual, seemed to not notice the cold at all. "Don't dawdle, girl," she said whenever I paused for breath. We had not brought much food with us, just some bread and withered apples. Much later we stopped at a farm, and Uni begged some milk. The farmer's wife was baking hot rolls, and the air was filled with the delicious smell of new bread. She picked out 2 rolls each and gave them to us. Seeing my wan face and frozen hands, she asked us to rest before the fire, and then suggested that it was too late to go on that night, and that there was hay enough in the barn to keep us warm. I slept well that night in deep gratitude for her kindness, though Uni roused me from a sound sleep before it was light, and insisted that we must be on our way. Rosy from the nest of hay, my chilblains itching at the unaccustomed warmth, I stumbled out yawning, ate my second roll and drank the rest of the milk, and we set off again. On this day we walked along a huge sea channel, a giant estuary like the sea itself. From the cliffs we could see dangerous rocks below. Ships stayed well out in the center. The blue-gray color of the sea was shot with white, like a ripped garment with its lining showing through. Sustained by a good night's sleep and a breakfast, I found that I walked faster and incurred fewer rebukes from Uni, though the endless questions about what I had seen on the walk, how many ships, and so on, continued. She had spoiled the pleasure of walking for me, filled it with anxieties about noticing and remembering. I did seem to be a little better at it than I had been, however. By that evening, to my distress, we were miles from any human habitation. We drank water from a stream, but we had nothing to eat, and I was bitterly hungry. When it grew too dark and I was too tired for us to walk any farther, we sat on a log in a wood and simply waited for the night to pass. I took Moon out from his travel bag and watched with envy as he swooped over the moorland in search of food. "I'm hungry," I said accusingly, and then when no reply was forthcoming, "Why didn't we prepare properly for this journey? We could have brought more bread with us and maybe some beer." "But then you would miss the pleasure," said Uni. "What pleasure?" "Of living as birds do from the hand of nature." I thought of the starved birds I had often found lying dead on the ground in winter. Birds often die at the hand of nature. Sometimes, mostly not. I listened to the ravening eagle inside me, demanding to be fed. "I must have food," I said desperately. "If there is no food, you simply have to be hungry." "Don't you mind being hungry?" Uni hesitated. "Nowadays, not at all. It is like the weather. I live with it. But when I was a child, yes, I wept a great deal about being hungry. I was intrigued. Uni had never before told me anything about her past. I am not sure that I thought she had one, that she had not emerged into the world full grown, wearing her green-black clothes. I hoped she would say more, but she did not.